Hello everyone, here is our second video for this Monday. I will be using the brand new Wild Whisper collection, Canadian Winter, as well as this beautiful cut file from Cut to You. So I left my cut file on my mat. Some of the pieces pulled up and so I just pulled those off, but for the most part, this particular cut file is still stuck to my mat. I also I'm just checking my blender brush to make sure there isn't any errant ink on it. Sometimes that happens. And I want to make sure that I don't get errant ink on this. So I am taking some Close to My Heart White Daisy pigment ink, and I am just inking the edges of this cut file. I know it's a little hard to see because it's up on black paper. You'll see it in a second. Within my Silhouette Studio software, I also released the compound path on this cut file after I traced it, and I made it so that I could cut the insides of the wording with a pattern paper from the Canadian Winter collection. So I just used that ink just to kind of give a little bit of a white haze, I guess maybe would be the word, a snowy look to my cut file. Now I'm going to grab those little letters that I cut, and I'm going to, first I'm going to grab some errant little pieces that decided to stick out. And I'm going to glue my cut file down to my paper. I'm just using some tape runner, and then after I get it kind of situated and down somewhat with my tape runner, I'm going to go in with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And any part that seems like it wants to pop up, I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of glue on those popped up edges. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. Look how easy this was. I decided to do it this way because these were nice letters that were easy to kind of separate out and cut on a piece of pattern paper. And it just is so much easier to do it this way than to back it in a traditional sense when you're dealing with letters. For me, I prefer this method. Now, for whatever reason, my silly iPad decided that the rest of this video needed to be blurry. I have no clue why. Don't ask. I don't know why it does this. Every so often it just says, oh yeah, let's be blurry. Ugh. Anyway, but I figured there was enough, you can see it good enough that I can kind of explain to you what's going on. And if the blurriness irritates you, you are welcome to just quit watching now. I won't be offended, I promise. But if you can give me a thumbs up, an A for effort, as it were, that would be awesome. So these are the stamps from the Canadian Winter set. I often, almost every video, get asked why I rub stamps onto my arm. I only do that when the stamps are brand new. When stamps come off the manufacturing line, they're too slick. And if you pull them off and you want to go stamp with them right away, sometimes you won't get a good impression. They won't stamp well. Some scrapbookers, some stampers use an eraser to kind of hit them with an eraser to get them to be cured or seasoned or burnished a little bit. I just use the back of my hand. It works. So I am going to be using a lot of stamping on this layout, and I'm going to be stamping directly onto my background. So this is one of those times when my much loved Ginormous Misty is going to come in handy because I can perfectly place where I want things to stamp. And if it doesn't stamp right the first time, that's okay because I can stamp it again. I am going to be doing all of my stamping using Altenew permanent black ink. I stamped Warm Winter Wishes over and over across the top, and now I'm going to add 2 of the branding strips from the paper collection, and this will give my layout a border across the top. I'm also thinking right now about where else I might want to place some stamping as I kind of think about my clusters and where I want to put my photo, things like that. Okay, so I know that I want to put my photo there, but each of my embellishment clusters, I definitely want to add a bit of black stamping behind them or around them to accent it. I'm really going for a combination of black and white and this beautiful kind of coral color that's in this collection and some of those dark, deep blues. I cut apart my mittens and then I end up using them all together anyway, but I was thinking about trying to hang them from an area on the cut file or on my photo. I couldn't find a place ultimately that I really liked it there, so that's not what we're going to do, but this is going to happen. So I'm going to place this little hat right on top of the S in snow, and I'm going to use the little scarf up there, and then I'm going to figure these mittens out. I think I'm going to end up just kind of tucking them behind, just like this. But I know that each of these clusters, I know that that top cluster needs some journaling, and I know that that side cluster is going to need some stamping, so we'll get to work on that next. Okay, so I've done my journaling, and I have my little cluster there that has the little die cuts, and now I'm going to use this little snow day. So for the snow day, I decide just to grab an acrylic block. I sometimes find with my large Misty that having a very small stamp gets to be a little bit hard, and I have better success with an acrylic block. That being said, I have considered multiple times buying another Misty. I really have, and it still might happen at some point because they're just so lovely and handy. I have completed all of my stamping now, and I have all of my die cuts in place, so I'm just going to do that one more stamp of Snow Day down below my journaling, and that's going to complete this layout. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Here are some close-ups. I'll leave a link below to this cut file, as well as a link to the Wild Whisper blog where you can find all the details on my layout. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again Wednesday. Bye!